Hey guys, welcome back to Container Crops, the Scaredy Cat Gardener. Oh my goodness, it's been raining so much lately. It's overcast today, but it's still a beautiful day here in Zone 7B. And we're going to be talking about 9 things that we absolutely need to do if before, during, after, if we know about a heavy rain is coming. These are the things that we need to do to save our gardens.
Show off your fantasy reality, whoa, that's yours, but I'll keep doing mine. You'll be living your good life, catch a glimpse from the outside all the time.
You know, guys, our gardens love a lot of rain and, after we've had all these dry months and these heat spells, these heat waves that we've had this year, our garden, it's a refreshment, it's a relief, but also rain can be very heavy. And if it's accompanied by wind, it can be devastating to our garden as well as all the hard work we've done. We are actually in the midst of hurricane season. It started at the beginning of June and it really doesn't end until the end of November. And although we may not have seen any hurricanes like the serious hurricanes that we may have seen in the past, it's hurricane season. So it's not past us that we won't get those heavy rains. And even where I am in Zone 7B, it's been raining. I haven't had to water my garden in 2 weeks because of the rain. So before we get into the 9 things that we need to do to save our gardens before, during, and after heavy rains, I'd just like to say if you are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you are returning, oh my goodness, thank you so much for coming back. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please take a second and subscribe to the channel. Turn on that notification bell so you won't miss anything. Also, I'd like to thank all of my channel members. There's going to be an acknowledgement of my channel members at the end of this video, so please stay around to see that. Okay, so what are the 9 things that we need to do? Okay, now first of all, let me just say this is my list and you guys may know of some other things that you need to do. So please leave that down in the comments if you all have some other suggestions other than what I'm going to say. But number 1 on my list, and it's not necessarily in order of what you need to do or how you need to do it, but the first things, let's talk about before heavy rains come, especially if you know the heavy rain is coming, like a hurricane is on its way, they're talking about it, or a storm is in the path and they're talking about it on the news and the weather. And so you get to hear this and you get to listen to it. That means you get to plan, you get to prepare. So number 1, you want to remove any damaged, dead limbs and shoots from your plants. By removing any already damaged shoots and limbs, this is going to streamline your plant and it will help your plant not break off and not get all tangled up amongst one another. So go out there ahead of time and get your plants streamlined up. Another thing you need to do is for your taller plants. Some of us have plants that can grow upwards, 6-7 feet tall. Make sure those are supported well. Now, you may have them staked already, loosely just to keep them growing tall, but you want to secure them. Now, don't tighten them so much that you damage your plant, but make sure that they are secure and that they won't sway as the rains and the heavy winds come about. So make sure your taller plants are secure. Okay, now, whether you're gardening in containers like I am, or if you're growing in ground, raised beds, it doesn't matter. Make sure everything has proper drainage and there's not going to be a pool of water sitting somewhere near. If you're growing in ground and maybe your ground is unlevel somewhere, so when it rains you have this pool of water. You don't want those pool of water sitting around because they can actually drown nearby plants. So make sure proper drainage is in place. So let's move on to some of the things we need to do actually during the heavy rains. You know what? You're out, you're gone, you come home, it's pouring down rain. Forecast is going to be raining for the next day or so. You want to cover your delicate plants. You want to use a waterproof cover, something like a tarp. That would work well, but when you put this tarp on there, they are delicate plants now, so make sure that it's properly secured and kind of tight where the water itself is still going to run off, and it's not going to create a pool of water like right in the middle that will weigh down on your plants. And then also on the sides of the tarp, all the sides of the tarp, that it's properly staked and running off in an area that's not going to create another pool of water like we just spoke about. So make sure you use something that's waterproof, cover those delicate plants, and make sure you can tell where this water is going to drain off of this waterproof covering. Something else that you want to do during is that if you have a compost bin or a compost pile, go out there and turn it over. You know, you need a raincoat with a hood or something on it because you got to get out there, guys. I mean, it's just inevitable. You come on now. Come on now. You can't just ignore your garden because it's raining and say, I'm not going to get wet. Come on, ladies. I don't want my dew to get messed up. You need to get you a raincoat with a hood on it and tie that sucker up and get out there and take care of your business, okay? So turn your compost over. If you have dry areas or maybe the layers underneath are drier, you're trying to bring those to the top so that it'll be evenly moist throughout all of this heavy rain. Okay, so that's what you need to do before. If you're anticipating rain or heavy rains may come, or you can kind of get knowing that we'll probably get some heavy rains, do some of the things that are beforehand, okay? Now, during, you kind of got to, you can kind of do some of those things too beforehand. If you know it's coming, like the storm is on its way within hours, you can do some of the things that are for during so you don't have to get wet, get your dew messed up. You can go out there beforehand and do those too. But let's talk about what we need to do afterwards, because we all go out after the rain. One thing that I love to do myself is I go out after the rain just to see, because I have seen some amazing growth, some amazing colors, changing of the colors of some of my plants. When I go out right after the rain, it's just a beautiful sight to see. But after heavy rains, especially if there's damaging winds that accompany it and it's gone on for quite some time, check your roots. Go around, look at your plants, whether you're in containers, in ground, raised beds, it doesn't matter. Check your plants' roots. You want to make sure you don't have any exposed, that the rain wasn't so heavy that it beat it down and exposed the roots. If that is the case, cover it back up. Get you some soil. Use the soil that's, if it's not washed completely away, use the soil. It's windy out here now. I don't know if you all can tell it, but I've got my notes here and the wind is blowing my paper, so I had to flip it over to the other side because it's windy out here already. It's been raining forever. But at any rate, back to the point, focus. Scaredy cat going there, focus. Okay, so cover your roots back up. Make sure that they're just properly covered. Also, especially if you are in pots and containers, this doesn't necessarily apply to in ground, but if you have pots and containers, make sure they are still draining properly, that this heavy rain didn't compact the soil to the point that they're not draining and they're sitting in a pool of water within the pot. So go around, check all your pots. If you have, I have these larger containers as well, and they have drainage holes on the side of it. It doesn't drain from the bottom. There's like a shelf in there, and all the water drains down below the shelf, and then it drains out from there. I need to make sure that that spout is open and that water is coming out of it, that it's not just backlogged up into my soil. So check your pots, check your containers to make sure that they are still draining properly. Okay, so sorry for the noise in the background. I am outside. Somebody decided to come outside while I'm outside and cut their grass, but okay, we're going to ignore that. Next, check your plants for slugs and snails. They love moist soil conditions, and this is their ideal time. So if you find that you have snails and slugs, I may do another video on different ways you can handle those. But for now, I'll just say use your preferred method to get rid of them if that is necessary. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, so next on my list, weeds. After this is over, oh my goodness. You know, weeds grow if you look at them, okay? So if they get this kind of rain, they're going to pop up. But the good thing about that is the soil is so moist at this particular point in time that you can pull them up and the roots will come up too. You don't have to worry about trying, because you know, I'm going to tell you something about weeds. Weeds can be tough. You can be trying to pull that weed up and that weed ain't coming up for nothing. Then you got to go get a trowel or something and try to dig it up, or that little weed eater thing that I have. You got to try to get the weed up with a tool because it's just tough. But right now, see, that rain has made that soil moist enough that most weeds, now I'm not going to say all of them, but most weeds will come up, root and all. So get out there and de-weed your garden. Okay, guys, so that's all I got for you today. I hope this list is going to help you. Like I said, we are absolutely in the midst of hurricane season. It's been raining here for a week. Not a hurricane, nothing like that, but it has been raining here for the whole week or two. And I think I had watered one day out of 2 weeks. You know, I'm not mad. My water bill is going to reflect that. So I ain't mad about it. And the rainwater is better for your plants. I'm not mad at it. But, you know, as we enter fall, we enter into our moist season. So get prepared. Do these things so that your garden can stay safe and you can continue to grow your own. Okay, guys, again, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I really would appreciate it. Also, I didn't say at the beginning of the video, but connect to me over on Facebook. My Facebook group is Container Crops. I'd love to have you over there because the group is for you guys, not for me. I want to see what's growing on in your garden. Post your pics, post your videos, and let's have conversation over there as well. And you can always find me on IG at the Scaredy Cat Gardener. Okay, until next time, in a time of peace, prepare for war. And remember, anywhere you can sit a pot, you can grow a plant. And I'll see you on the trail.